What a story! Much more than a love story.
It's not very complicated, really. You take great skaters from hockey and figure skating. Champions. You put these fierce competitors into pairs and stand back to watch what happens.
Lined up and hammered by Brad May.
Are you? Fun, eh?
And that's just how pure the concept for Battle of the Blades was.
We thought it might be a crazy Canadian idea that could work.
You really have the sense they're two skating as one.
I think we were all bluffing ourselves that there was something beautiful about the concept of hockey and figure skating coming together for the first time.
Were natural ice rivals actually a natural partnership?
I thought it was the dumbest idea I'd ever heard.
This is a powerful, intense program.
I tell you the truth, I thought it was a gimmick.
My immediate reaction was, this will be off the air in 2 weeks.
But it stuck, and the two sides went to work.
Though I look very masculine,
I was apprehensive, to say the least.
At first, I was like, no way am I going to put a pair of figure skates on.
Nobody ever could believe Bobby Probert or Ty Domi could figure skate.
We're going to just embarrass these guys like they've never been embarrassed in their lives.
Elbow hurts, head hurts, I'm concussed. I'm in the locker room thinking I just made a huge mistake. Ow! Holy
In time, hearts of champions emerged.
Figure skaters and hockey players are, in a way, cut from the same cloth. I expected them to be competitive, and I expected them to be intense, but not to the degree that we saw.
You started to skate 2 weeks ago, and now you're flipping her like she's some kind of a seal.
Hockey players know what losing feels like, and they don't like it.
It's a 53rd time.
You can play Go Fish, and next thing you know, there's an argument, and the table's being flipped. It's just how we are. No one wants to lose. Oh, my God.
It was grueling. I didn't want to go home early. My goal was to make it to the last show.
I got you. Don't get too creative.
Each week we had to do a new routine.
Hey, don't be so stiff.
Just let me get the steps down first before I start shaking my ass.
Everybody trying to go one better, one up, one more.
Pairs figure skating is an extreme sport.
To let us hockey guys toss them around, it's a lot of balls.
And soon, new bonds were forged.
There, that's it. Perfect.
That's the way
Nice.
Before long, it was showtime.
I played in 12 Game 7s in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Again, that feeling came back.
These guys were willing to put it all out there and risk everything.
Cummerbund going on. No idea how to use one of these things.
There was edge in the air, always it seemed.
The exciting thing about Battle of the Blades is that it's completely unpredictable.
Now, the circle turns. A new cast, new dreams, new ice. Battle of the Blades reaches Season 4. Welcome to the 2013 premiere of the Battle of the Blades, season number 4. Back at the headwaters of this show, the idea of having a hockey player and a figure skater collaborate seems fun, different, very Canadian, and to a lot of us, rather far-fetched. And then it happened, and it was a resounding, albeit surprising success. Whenever we would sign off in previous years, at the end we'd always say, and that's our little show. It was a bit cheeky because we knew we had a hit, but it was also an homage to the idea of the little engine that could. I think I can, I think I can. The hockey player used to picking fights, suddenly fighting picks and winning. And the figure skaters stroking beauty and art and proving how incredibly tough they are. Even if we didn't think it could work, they did. Well, tonight we'll look back at how it all took place. We'll revisit the first 3 battles and we'll preview season number 4. And we'll begin year number 1. When there was this wonderful buzz around the perfect stage, the resurrected Maple Leaf Gardens. Of course, a venue cannot carry a show. No, tonight is the story of those who made it happen, the skaters. They were the engine, and they are the reason Battle of the Blades is back. Enjoy. So the concept evolved. Figure skaters, hockey players, both elite skaters, both warriors who love a challenge. But selling the idea, that would take some convincing.
We didn't ever want it to be a joke, and we cared too much about the players and the skaters. If we were going to do it, then we had to do it right. We first approached Ty Domi.
Jersey to net nailed! This is the 22nd bout for Ty Domi.
And Ty, of course, at first said, "You've got to be kidding."
Little pushing and shoving now, Domi and McCarthy.
But then when we talked about the charity, that, I think, was the turning point for Ty, because his son has diabetes, and Ty decided that he wanted to do this for Max.
Keep your weight on your right foot, and there it is. No problem.
For me, the journey with Battle of the Blades began with Ty Domi.
I can do it. I believe you.
We got on the ice together, and we were building something called a sizzle reel, which is what you would use to bait networks to believe that this would work.
Come here, you little crap. Whoa!
And it was my job to somehow make him look good. So I talked him into wearing one hockey skate and one figure skate.
This is the dangerous part.
And here he was, a real, honest-to-goodness, living, breathing, legendary hockey player, taking the show seriously.
Here's the concept. You take great, iconic, heroic hockey players, you put them on the ice as figure skaters.
Somehow something came out of that that caught the attention of the people we needed.
You know, show me what you got.
Sure, what you got, all right. Ooh.
Okay, you're in. You're good. This guy's in.
That's better.
You're fine.
Now, finding hockey players who are willing to don figure skates, well, you can just imagine.
We received at least 50 to 60 no's. But because Ty had agreed, we could say, Ty Domi's going to do it. So the next call was Bob Probert.
Now, we've got a fight going here. Ty Domi and Bob Probert. Boy, I wonder if they've ever done this before.
And Bob said, Ty's doing this?
Probert takes a couple of lefts. Down goes Probert. Up they get again. They're going to have round 2 right here.
I can honestly say Battle of the Blades would not have happened had it not been for Ty Domi being the first player to say yes. Because once he did, others would at least listen. So one led to another, led to another, led to another. And that first season, the players were extraordinary. I mean, 16 Stanley Cups.
I was apprehensive, to say the least, when I saw some of the players that were going to be involved. Ty Domi, who I fought and hated. Bob Probert, I didn't know what to expect from Bob because he was the most feared guy in the National Hockey League, maybe of all time.
The last to be cast was Claude Lemieux, and that was a miracle. It was late August, and we were about to go to rehearsal in September, and we managed to sign Sean Burke.
James Washburn in, great save by Sean Burke.
And we were excited because he was a goalie, and we really wanted a goalie in Battle of the Blades. A week later, he called and said, I can't do the show. I'm going to be assistant coach for the goalies for the Coyotes, and I have to withdraw. So we get on the phone very madly and track down Claude Lemieux and convince him, you know, it's the whole conversation. Ty's doing it, Bob Probert's doing it, Craig Simpson, Riche, you've got to be kidding. Okay, I'll do this.
We owe a huge debt of gratitude to Ty Domi and Bob Probert for the marketing of the show.
Please welcome Ty Domi and Bob Probert.
You know, if you don't have those two guys, I don't think you have quite the piqued interest that we had.
It sounded like a pretty good idea, and you know, it sounded like a lot of fun and it's something different.
Those guys really put a lot of work in.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
She used to have the advantage, right? When we used to fight all the time. Because, you know, I'm a lot bigger than me. But now, you know, we have to pick up the girls. Yeah. I don't have to bend over as much as he does. So I got the advantage now.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the photo of Ty and Bob Probert together, wearing, I guess, something that I would wear for a living, a silk shirt in a spanky little color, left so many unanswered questions that you had no choice but to tune in.
Battle of the Blades.
Wait till you see our pants.
This fall on CBC.
From day one, we had Ron MacLean and Kurt Browning there.
Well, looks like a hockey player, not one of those little skinny guys, you know?
You're getting ready for Battle of the Blades, I can tell.
Yeah.
CBC brass invited me to lunch, talked about this concept they had for what was going to be the smash hit of the fall season, Battle of the Blades. And they said Bob Probert's in, and Ty Domi, and Ken Danico, and I had all these big, burly, tough guys in my mind, and they're going to figure skate with one of the outstanding female skaters from Olympic and World Championship fame. And I thought, you're kidding. There's no chance that Bob Probert and Ty Domi could emote. So I thought it was the dumbest idea I'd ever heard. And then came the one caveat that sort of won me over, and that was your co-host will be Kurt Browning. I agreed right there and then. I was sold on Kurt. Honest to God, there was only one reason I was in, was that if this poor guy that I admire so much is going down, I'm going to help him as best I can.
We knew that the only way to create something of quality was to make sure they were surrounded by a really strong support system. So that meant the best coaches and choreographers. The first calls were to Paul Martini and Michael Siebert and Renee Roca, David Wilson, David Peltier, Doug Ledre.
Opening up with a throw double axel.
I was in Palm Springs. I hadn't been involved in skating for about 5 years, and she gave me a call. And she said that she had this crazy idea.
That way.
Whatever they did, it needed to be...
Without a word of a lie, I had no faith whatsoever in the concept. To me, they were going to end up looking like something out of a novice pair competition at the, you know, not even at the national championship, at the regional championship. I said yes because it was Sandra Bezic calling. But even as I'm hanging up the phone, in the back of my mind, I'm going, I cannot believe that they're going to get anyone who's played in the National Hockey League to become a part of this project. When the names started coming in, it was like, oh, this is going to be really interesting. These guys had put some serious time and some serious accomplishments playing the game. So at that point, I started to go, okay, somebody really thinks that this is going to fly. They're serious about this. And I guess I better get my head around the fact that this is going to happen, and I'm going to have to try to get these guys to the point where they're not going to embarrass themselves.
Throughout the course of tonight's show, we'll introduce you to our new cast. 8 teams, 1 constant. Character players are those who block shots, hit, fight. Those are the guys we think of as character players. What we have is a group of players with character, and those are players who find ways to do the little thing that gets you success. There's an expression that hockey's played on the inside edges, but won on the outside edges, and no one could skate and glide to attain speed like Vladimir Malakhov.
Ranked on the power play, they score! Malakhov!
Oksana is a purist, an elegant performer. She comes from the long line of great Russian pair skating, and she will bring a rich depth to her performance and to her partner. The women were critical. It would be the power of the women who could keep these guys going, or who could help them, who could teach them, who could support them. The very first person I spoke with was Barb Underhill.
And here it is, 5'9", 5'9".
It was like I lit up inside again. You know, when I retired from skating, it was pretty devastating, and I don't think I ever really got over it.
The women that committed to the project were some serious competitors. They're the very best in the world. Jamie Soleil, Olympic champion. Shailene Bourne, a world champion. Barb Underhill, a world champion. Marie-France Dubray. I mean, all of these women were extraordinary skaters in their own right.
Known for their straight line sequences because of the technical difficulty.
I knew from day one that I wanted to do it. My only question was what guys will be willing to put themselves out there and take the helmet off and put the picks on and learn to figure skate.
A team known for spectacular lifts,
after competing, after touring, I was ready for a new challenge, so I said yes right away.